approval of minutes for April 28th. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for April 28th?
I can do that.
I can't.
I know, that's what I was just what I was thinking. I move to accept as written the, meeting minutes for April 28th.
I'll second that, so, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
2, 1 abstention, so we'll call that passed. And then you need to, pass the minutes for July 28th.
Form makes a motion to pass the minute, approve the minutes for the July 28th meeting as written.
I'll second that one.
Okay.
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Abstain.
All right, looks like 2 ayes, 1 abstention. We passed that minutes, so we'll move on to minutes for approve. Any visitors want to address
Yeah,
service?
we have Mr. Crane from V3 here. He was going to talk to us about a couple things. There's the wells and then the money that we're trying to obtain to replace the water lines. You have a minute, Mike?
Yeah.
And Jim,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mike and Jim.
Turner's with me as well.
Yeah,
starting.
Jim has been helping us with getting the funding and doing all the stuff that we're trying to do with the EPA as well. So I guess,
So, I can provide an update on the wells, but really what we wanted to do is talk about, looking at getting a financial consultant on board for all of the development. And I'll let Jim kind of walk through it, but you've got a lot going on, and there are some ways that you can, whether it's TIP districts or, new community authorities, but ways that you could leverage a financial firm so that you can lower the burden on your existing residents for all of the new development. I think you called it development fees for development.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I started at V3 in May, and the projects I've been working on so far have included work here in Baltimore. I helped Mike. We've got the scope and the contract together for the sewer improvements going out to the east side. I'm doing some work right now on the plan review for the subdivision work. I know a little bit about the water work. And clearly there's a lot of capital needs under discussion for all of the growth that's being discussed and is in some stage of planning. And, you know, what we talk about a lot of times when we come out here is, you know, we seem to be poised for Baltimore's population maybe doubling over the course of the next 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
That's a big deal. And I've worked in other larger utilities that also had lots of capital work, but doubling the size of the utility is pretty unusual. And the sort of capital costs that are gonna go with this, they're significant. Just the cost of the sewer improvements to get the sewer service out east, that could be a $4 million project. And that's just one project. That doesn't include the water work. There might be some work needed at the plant. So there's a lot of capital needs on the table. And as we've looked at the engineering side of these jobs, it's become kind of obvious that the normal way that a water and sewer utility would fund improvements of looking at your utility rates and maybe updating your tap fees, that needs to happen here, but we don't think it's gonna be enough. We're advising that you bring on a financial consultant that does understand some of these other vehicles, that just other financing vehicles. And I've been in contact with some of these folks. They talk about things like impact fees, and setting up JED districts and TIP districts and new community authorities. There are options that are out there, but these are options that really are best managed by a financial professional, not an engineer. So what we have talked with Matt and the mayor about is bringing on a financial services consultant to do not a full-blown rate study, but to provide kind of a high-level overview of where you guys sit today with your utility finances, do some rough benchmarking just to give you some comparison points as to how you stack up against some other utilities in the area, and then also give you some options of what could be done so that with the capital needs that are coming, how do those get financed in a way that it's not just on top of the current ratepayers or even the new ratepayers. What's the best way to finance this so that it's equitable and it minimizes your risk, but it also facilitates the growth that seems to be coming. So financial services are, I think, are something that needs to be taken a look at. And it's outside of the scope of what V3 normally does, and so that's what we'd like to do. And we have talked to them about, I've talked with some of the folks about the size of a contract that it would take to really get your arms around this. And what a couple of them have told me is they feel like a $25,000 study would probably be the right size right now to get the right information on the table so that you're positioned for what's coming. And again, to put this in context, we're talking about a financial plan to finance $5 to $10 million worth of work. So I know 25,000 is 25,000, but now is the time to get your ducks in a row so that you're in the best position. Because 10 years from now, it's going to be too late.
I just don't want to, when we start talking about all this, there's ways to make the developer pay or the people that are coming here pay, not the people that live here to pay.
Right.
I guess that's the key is if we're going to have growth, which we're going to have growth, not dump it on, what's the matter, Debbie?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I just feel like I just don't want to put it on the people that live here. It should be put on the developers. It should be put on the people that are going to move here. I've said from the beginning, when we've talked to developers in the beginning, and as much as people don't like, if you want to move to Baltimore or you want to build a house in Baltimore, it's going to cost you money. It just is. Because
Well, and that's what we've told them, is we're not
Yes.
gonna put it on the people that live here
we're
now.
not going to put it on the people that live here now. So, and I don't know how else to do it, because I'm certainly not smart enough to say, oh, we can do this or we can do that or we can afford that. And Matt's and Brian, you agree with this. You're our financial guy. Don't you agree with something like this? This is the right way to do it, to where we're not behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, it's tips, and with kids, yeah, I'm familiar with all those. Familiar, it's been a while since
Yeah.
I worked with anything like that. I was an auditor one time.
Okay.
So I'm familiar with the terms and how they operate, but it's been a while since then.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know the terms too, but the actual the details of how you set it up and how it could work for you. That's why I think we need to bring in some other
Yes.
folks to take a look at this.
So-
And you're in a position that's pretty similar, I think, to other places. I mean, we're in contact with some other clients. I know Mount Vernon's doing some of these financial arrangements. We talked to Granville about similar things. So everybody who's looking at this growth, I think, is in the same position that you are. And so what we're talking about is not unusual and not out of line.
No. I know, and Carol, they're even talking about bringing in a financial for what's coming down, and because the mayor of Carroll's a friend of mine, they're talking about bringing someone in to advise them in the same way. I don't think their growth is going to be quite like ours, although some stuff he's found out, it's coming out 33, whether he likes it or not, too. So, but I wanted them to explain it to you because it's better for them to explain it to you than me. Sometimes when we talk about all this stuff and the figures that are going by, I'm just like, we don't have the money to do that, or we can't do that. You know what I mean? I'm
Hire the people that know.
right.
Yeah, I think it would be the responsible thing to do.
Yes, for the people that live here, it would be the responsible
If
thing.
you learn as you go, you will learn that you made a big mistake by not hiring people.
Right.
Right.
Best to be proactive.
That's what you'll learn.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah,
Um,
absolutely, we need to do this.
Do you have people that work with you that you would recommend?
So, I don't wanna step on your toes, but what we recommend is putting out an RFQ, request for qualifications.
Okay,
So, the difference between request for proposal and request for qualifications is you're not looking at cost. You can request their rates as part of the RFQ, but we can either send it out to firms you select or just put it out there, and then you can look at who is best suited.
okay.
And then kind of talk to them.
But you guys might have somebody that
Oh,
you
yeah.
can recommend
we have
with
a
the people
couple
that you're working with now.
And probably they'll have communities they've already worked with that they can
Absolutely.
That we can go
call
back and,
them say,
yes,
how'd this work out?
That would be a part of their statement of quals. You'd get resumes of their staff, and then what projects have you done?
Right.
You could see
And are
where
we
they-
looking at a month from now or 6 months from now?
I mean, as soon as
sooner the better.
As
Well,
soon
that's
as
what
we
I'm
have
saying.
Yeah.
the green light, we could get an RFQ together and get that issued. That would be literally maybe a 1 or 2 page request, and you'd want to give them a few weeks, maybe a month, to submit their statements of quals. So, in a month and a half or something from now, if we had the green light, you'd have the quals in front of you, and then it's a matter of review, make a selection, bring one of the firms in, and then work with them to finalize the scope and the fee. So this whole process, yeah, we're talking on the order of, like I said, if we had the green light right now, you could have the quals in front of you.
So that's something we probably have to move up to council to talk about, I would assume too, correct?
Well, you could move it up.
For vote today.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So council, so the service committee would recommend that village hire financial consultants for the purpose of financing our infrastructure expansion in regards to water distribution and wastewater treatment.
Yes.
Does that sound about right?
Yes.
Sewer collection.
Yeah.
Well, that-
Wastewater treatment.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're recommending B3 cases, right? Is that how this would work?
We would be involved.
Yeah.
We would
Because
have-
they're gonna need to know what.
So all we're really doing right now is authorizing V3 to draft an RFQ to get people to submit it.
Yes.
We're not really spending the money yet.
No, we're not.
just
No,
saying
we're not.
We want V3
Our representative,
to put
yes.
together this RFQ so we can get the whole
Yes.
process started.
That's why it's.
Yes.
We're not spending anything yet, so we could do that by emergency, or we don't even really need to pass anything. We
No.
can just authorize.
Just a motion
So we're
from
on.
council.
So,
Yeah, you can make, that makes, yeah, you wouldn't need legislation.
No.
yeah, so we just, before we make some motion, that we send this to council to, authorize the village administrator to enter into an agreement with
V3.
to draft an RFQ to assess the need for a financial advisor regarding development.
Yeah, I'll second that. All in favor from the committee to send this up for review from council, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous consent, send it up to council.
I would say you'll get a call from us tomorrow, just saying,
That's fine.
we figured this out and this is what we're gonna do. We know what we have to do. We'll talk about it some more during council, but I
I'll
just,
stick around the rest of this meeting too.
Yes.
because Things pop up. So.
okay, perfect. Perfect.
Since you asked about it.
Yes.
The status
Thank you.
of the, treat water, the new well field is, the next step is to go out to bid for test wells. You've already got the loan for all of that.
Right.
So they'll go out, they'll drill 2 test wells, we'll make sure you're able to pull the capacity you need before those get turned into production wells. So we need to work with Scott on a bid schedule for that. Again, all of your money's already in loan form. This isn't, it's all obtained.
See, even my engineer knows who to talk to.
So in the next probably month and a half, we'll have a contractor. We will need to talk to the property owners about easements. EPA wants those easements in place before the test drilling. I think we're gonna talk to them because I hate to go get easements. And we do not think this will happen, but you put 2 test wells in and
You got a dead well on an easement that you
and then you paid for or got an easement in place that isn't relevant, right?
Well, that really the only easement we need is Groovy, isn't it? Yeah, I'd have to look at it. Yeah, but I think the only easement we need is Greg, and I don't think we'll have an issue there at all.
And these are short-term tests.
Yeah.
And I think they're 24-hour tests, maybe there's one 72-hour. So once we get that, EPA signs off and says you're good to move forward, then we go into the design and then construction of the actual wells. So I would think end of next year, those could be producing. And there is funding coming out in November for it's grant money, 15,000 for demolition of wells. So we could get up to $45,000. So we've got that on our radar. We'll make sure we apply for that.
If it's free, it's us.
Grant money.
Yes.
Yeah.
just has to
There's no
seal up the
match.
dead wells.
There's no matching requirements for that.
15 million you're talking.
Free.
Oh, not
So-
really, Pog, it's just
I
15
like
less
free- I
out
like
of
free.
pocket.
You like free.
I don't like it when it's stipulation.
I gotcha. Where are we at on, while we're on this service, on OPWC for next spring?
OPWC will be due the first Friday in November. we wanna, I think Tim was gonna look at.
He is. I think we need to go back after what we were going for, only scale it down a little bit from last year, just stick with that
But we
project.
need legislation from council, so
Okay.
probably in October you'll wanna start talking that.
Well, we'll
But it's
talk about it in
basically saying
September and get it out of the way.
That legislation is, I think, authorizing the village administrator to apply for OPWC.
Okay.
So something in the $500,000
Right.
grant range is what we've been successful in
Yes.
the past, and last year I think
We asked for $1 million.
so,
Yeah.
it was a little
Yep.
less attractive to them.
And that's for the water distribution.
I think
Or
that's
pipes, new pipes.
For new pipes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You
New
can use
pipes.
it for really any infrastructure, wastewater, water, streets, sidewalks. So in the past, you've done Park Street resurfacing, Gordon Street, I think that was water, sewer, or water,
paving.
stormwater, paving, sidewalk, Water Street, Tremont, or not Tremont, Dorchester.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, a perfect example of over there at Elmwood, Tim had a water main break, and I don't know, the pipe was laying in here. It was 90 years old. It was 4 inch. It was rotten. He had to keep going back further and further and further to get good pipe to get onto so he could fix it because it's decaying.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're good. We're not good, but we're getting there.
Any other questions from committee about, for these gentlemen? I don't think we're good
I'm
then.
not going anywhere, so if you think.
Yes.
All right,
Yep.
thank you. I think we can move on now.
Yep.
From our visitors, we go down to goals, so.
Do we have any other
segue.
visitors that want to talk? Was there any other visitors?
Oh, I don't know. There's two no's.
No, two no's. Okay.
Two no's.
Thanks, Steve. All right, moving on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Wade.
So this segues right into our goals. With streets, water treatment plant, wastewater treatment plant, I&I, and then replacing the water lines, this all relates to
Yes.
what V3 representatives have been talking about. Just, I would like to air my concerns regarding new infrastructure. One of the reasons why I personally ran for council was because that wastewater treatment plant was a big white elephant. It was like $7 million and it never really worked properly. It was experimental, and the council, from what I understand back then, they did study because EPA told them, hey, you guys are not compliant. You need to fix your I&I, and they, for like literally decades, council just said, nah, we're good. Until EPA said, okay, we're gonna fine you like so much a day every day, and all of a sudden it lit a fire under council. You know, back then I wasn't on it,
Right.
and they decided, you know, we need to do something, and they did these studies, and then somehow somebody, in my opinion, gave some pretty bad information to council. They acted on it, the village administrator, whoever it was. Well, let's spend $7 million. We could borrow it, pass along, you know, debt service to the, and build this experimental membrane. When I have it on sources that I talked to that work there that said, you know, they did a study and they could have spent $2-3 million, half of what they borrowed, to just sort of update the existing plant and expand it to using conventional technology, and would have met the requirements what EPA needed. But we borrowed twice as much with the burden on and we're gonna have to do it all over again. So moving forward from council, I mean, we know what the wells are, so the water distribution stuff is pretty much, we got a pretty good handle on that, I think, right now with V3Os. Moving forward with the wastewater treatment plant, I mean, the ideas about converting it to conventional or expanding it and all that sort of stuff. You know, I just, I think that getting the consultants to give us information on how we pay for this is a great idea. I'm all
Yes.
for that. But whoever's on council in the future, I would just caution getting flim-flammed again, like
Well,
what happened.
I guess here's the other thing, and I feel strongly about this, and I think Matt would agree. The guy that we have running the sewer plant now, I feel like is got to be one of the most knowledgeable people that we've had running the sewer plant in many, many years. And he communicates with you guys on a weekly basis about what we have to do to upgrade or what we have to do to change. And I mean, you see sewer operators all the time. I mean, don't you feel like our sewer operator is definitely up to par as far as making the changes that we need to make?
Yeah, and he did ask us to. We've been working with a consultant to look at that plant, all the growth that's coming. EPA is gonna come down and force you
Yes.
to do some stuff again. And one of the things they've brought up multiple times is, have you ever looked at converting this to a conventional?
Which is
sludge
what it was
plant?
to begin with.
Yeah.
So they're gonna look at where's the best bang for your buck? Is it expanding this plant with membranes, because that's a pretty new plant, or
Right.
what's the cost to convert this?
Right.
So they are gonna look at that. And
So
I
we
think
are
that-
working on
From
that.
my-
Yes.
From my perspective, the membrane plant is power hungry. It uses so much juice and so much less electricity that's one of the major reasons why it's so expensive. And if we expand it, we're just doubling the power requirements. Plus, you got to pay an operator, class 3 operator, to operate that, and that will be the highest paid individual in the village, going into becoming a city. But still,
Right.
I mean, you got to pay those staff to run that, and the licensing. See, those people to operate that, they don't come cheap. And so I think converting it back to a conventional plant is probably.
When, and
the
that's what they're
wisest.
doing the study on.
Yeah, I mean, there will be cost. Well, if it's $5 million to expand, I'm just throwing out numbers. If it's
Right.
90 million to convert it, then it's like, all right, well,
Well, yeah.
then maybe the cost of the operator is.
I've always been troubled with the fact that that plant is on South Central Power, where the kilowatt hour cost is like double what AEP is, and AEP is right here. And the fact that we're using propane to power it when there's natural gas running right through the front yard, which again would be half the cost.
Huh.
I've never understood why that plant is operating on the two most expensive power sources it could possibly find, when the others are right in front of it.
Yeah, I don't know what the
what's
decision
the
making
cost
was.
to change that?
We looked at it a few years ago because they wanted to convert those old tanks into some additional sludge holding, and there are power limitations out there. From what I remember, it's been probably 5-6 years, and the cost to run additional power was.
Well,
quite
even
a
like the
bit,
gas
so.
used to be all the way at Carroll Road, now it's only at Beta Road. So like Northeast Gas has moved the gas much closer than it used to be. And propane is gonna be at least double what natural gas is
Right.
per BTU.
Mhm.
And I've never understood why that was ever on South Central Power instead of AEP, where the power is substantially cheaper.
I don't know.
I thought the gas was just heated out there. The propane was just.
Well, and to run the standby generator, which exercises every week, and what else, I don't know what all it's used for. I know it's a massive propane tank, so it must use some gas.
Yeah, those expenses run us from November to about March.
Yeah, I just don't know that we've streamlined or paid attention to how we're getting our power and our energy.
I do know that the South Central bill's about $12,500 a month on
Right.
average.
That'll be something that gets looked at in the report.
Okay, I'm just curious, I've always wondered that.
Yeah, I don't know the
That-
background
that-
on
that,
that.
like, we've got the most expensive power sources out there we could possibly get.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. I guess, so we've got a plan for the replacement of the water lines and all that stuff, so we can move on to village reports.
Yes, sir.
Let's see here. In addition to my VA report, just a couple things I wanted to highlight during service here. Our tornado siren, of course, we did enter into contract with BNC Communications to repair that. That's not been repaired. I reached out to them at the end of last week, and BNC said they are waiting for the speaker drivers from a company that they order from. So they're just waiting to get those speakers. Once they get them, they'll schedule with us a repair date. Tim got the Dragabox put on the back of the dump truck last week, and the hope is maybe by the end of this week.
Maybe by the end of this
definitely
week.
next week. we can do
Definitely
some-
next week he'll be doing alleys. The only thing that's holding him up now is So like you have to have, I'm going to say this wrong, but you have to have some kind of grinder on the front of the Bobcat to, so when you put the new pavement down, it comes even with the old pavement. What is that?
Milling machine.
Milling machine. So that's the only thing he's waiting to figure out how to do that. But once we figure that out, he's probably going to spend, if you're watching, I'm not going to say how long you're going to spend, but he's going to spend some time doing some alleys. And he's excited to do them because they did a test with that drag box with gravel, and it is amazing how good it looks. I mean, and one load of asphalt does 100 feet. So, we could do a 300. It'd take 3 loads to do 300 feet, but it is a nice 10-foot wide. I mean, I'm anxious to see it too, and then they'll follow obviously with a roller as well.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say if not by the end of this week, sometime next week, we'll definitely see alleys being done.
Yep. We did confirm last week too, beginning of last week, that David Allen wants to stay at wastewater. So we did not fill the position that was vacant when he moved over to wastewater, because we wanted to give him a few weeks to kind of see if that's something he really wanted to do. He did confirm that he wants to stay over there with Eli, and so we hired Noah Shook, who was one of our seasonal mowers, and today was his first job. So he's full-time, and Tim has a full staff out there
Yes.
at the streets department.
And I would add that Eli is very, very pleased with David's progress. He's going to be ready to take tests and everything else. So it's a good combination, and it's working. So
Our the water modeling is almost complete. I don't know if Mike has any more he wants to share about that. Waiting for a little bit of information from us, and Scott and Dylan are working on getting V3 that information. The hope is that once that water modeling is done, we'll see what parts of the water system are most vulnerable, and we can begin looking. When we're looking at replacement and other things, we can use that as a guide and help. At the wastewater plant, pump 4 is down and has been down for a little bit. It broke, I think it was early July. We put an order for a new pump in. Something was going on in the company. It was either purchase or it was a restructuring. I can't remember exactly which. But anyway, the order got sent to another facility. That facility doesn't, you know how this goes. That facility didn't process the order anyway. We got it on site, and the guys are working on getting that so that we can get Membrane 4 up and running. And then the last thing I just wanted to highlight was in the email that Brian sent out, there was a document that was titled Major Subdivision Summary. And that was a document that we put together in-house. And it was just to try to get a real good grasp on the process. So when a developer comes and wants to do a major subdivision, what are the steps that our code requires them to work down through? Sometimes that stuff's kind of hard to find in one place in the code. So we use that document as a reference sheet. I thought you might want that. That might help us as we handed that out to planning and zoning last week, and I think that was a help. So if you have questions about major subdivisions, then I'm always happy to help talk through that process, but that document might be a good place to start. Something to keep as a reference, anyway.
Did you want to talk about at all the PFAS monitoring or?
I had not planned to, but did you want to?
Well, I mean, unless, I don't know who knows about it and that we're going to be doing it.
So, Forever Chemicals, is that a spray foam? I think it's like fire departments used to use it in their fire suppression. Yeah. So the state's going to start requiring testing for that. And we just got an email, I think it was last week. And so we've never done that before. EPA's never required that to be done before. I asked Scott about that. He said the chances of us having that in our water system is so low that it's
From
Wait,
water
is that
distribution, is that correct? Coming out of the
Yes.
wells?
because of that stuff leaching into our system. He said it's very low probability, but of course we will be testing for that. But I guess it is a rather lengthy process.
What's the difference between, why is it low risk here when Lancaster has so much? I mean, what's the difference?
I don't really know the answer to that.
industrial production.
rural, maybe amount of,
I mean,
opportunities.
Lancaster's had heavy industry for years,
Yeah.
decades,
I don't
millennia.
know Lancaster well enough, but if they're pulling from, if they're, your groundwater wells, if they're surface water wells pulling from streams, that can have a higher risk of food costs too. I don't know where they're pulling their water, but that.
Miller Park.
Miller Park.
Combination, maybe. Miller
When-
Park, yeah. So it's surface water. No.
No, it's
groundwater.
wells.
It's wells.
Wells, yeah, but it's in the Hocking Valley River.
Yeah.
Basin.
So we're in a different aquifer?
I would assume so.
Okay.
But that's good.
Yeah,
At the same time, we get money if we can get money back if,
right.
if we have it, so.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Unless there's questions.
All right, I guess we'll go Parks and Rec.
Really, there's not much to talk about there. I would tell you that probably the next council meeting, the pool will be closed and Brian will have numbers for us and he'll have numbers for us and we'll figure out where we're at on that. It'll be closed. I'm just saying we'll have it closed and we'll have some figures, at least an idea what we did.
The numbers aren't that complex. You have
No.
to do it in about 30 minutes.
But we have some things to figure out at the pool too, which will probably take us longer. Yes, you're right. And then Baltimore, I'm sorry, go ahead, Wade.
Yeah, no, the BDRC, anything, Brandy, from our?
Still don't have an update in terms of Rosati and the installation of the third series of window installations. The floor is currently up upstairs, and tomorrow night there are gonna be several of us that are gonna be helping to run cable from where the tech booth is to up underneath the stage. So, are there meetings up in here tomorrow? Is there court Tuesday?
Oh, no.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
Okay, that's good, cause we'll probably be noisy.
That's okay.
Okay, so that's all I have.
All
Oh,
right.
can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, of course.
I'm bringing this from the BDRC, but we always do trick or treat.
Yeah.
What night and what are the hours? Because
So-
we looked that up, but we wanna see if we're with that consortium.
Why are you looking at me?
Well,
the
I
mayor
was gonna-
decides.
The mayor decides when that's.
So,
time.
Mr. Mayor,
Could
I
we
would have
make
a
it an hour
recommendation.
and a half?
I do have a
2
recommendation.
Make that
Do
now for
December
council.
25th.
Okay,
Christmas up to
just be
October
thinking about
So
that.
we'll bring it
'cause-
up at council. We'll make a
Okay.
decision tonight, just so it's out of the way.
Okay,
Yeah, you set the date there.
All right.
The
we,
village administrator usually makes a recommendation.
Yeah.
which is, we
I got a
also
recommendation.
looked at the, what is it, the MORPC, cause that's what we looked at.
Yep.
I'll talk about that. We did check out that date and the times that a lot of the other municipalities are doing.
We'll figure it out.
That is all.
All right, I guess we can move on to, old business, each side drainage is a thing.
So that is a thing. Tim reached out the end of last week to see where we were at, because they are finishing up those telephone lines, so we can address that. I mean, I know people think that it's not the village holding us up on that. I can tell you that. It's the getting the utility permissions to cross through there. So when we get that,
Yep.
we'll get it fixed.
That's good. And then moving on to like new business, we've got resolution 2025-33.
Not sure what that is.
That is authorizing me to enter into, so that we can apply for the urban forestry grant, the new round. Our hope is that we would use funds to remove. We've got a lot of stumps that need to be, that we can ground out. We'd like to
Yes.
grind those out, and also to plant. That application is due tomorrow, so we did ask Jeff to prepare legislation
For tonight.
that it be, that suspend the 3 reading rules and for it be an emergency.
So we need a sponsor take it up to council.
I can do it.
All right. Form will take 25, 20.
Hold on.
Okay.
Who's second?
I'll second that, I guess. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous consent. I guess we can move on to, the next is an ordinance.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-34.
Yeah. So this would add permit technician services to our contract with Safe Built. So, you know, our big focus was building inspection. And quite frankly, I didn't know that permit technician was a separate agreement. And we found that out as we have gone through the process of getting that set up. What this does, the hope is, the long-term plan is that Connie and I would be trained, of course, to process those permits. There's two things, though, that I think would help us with permit technician services. Number one, the setup of this does take an incredible amount of time. We're having to learn, particularly Connie, being trained on a lot of different things with Safe Built. This would allow us in the immediate to get help with permit technician. So basically what this is a permit comes in, a building permit comes in. This person would receive it, process it. They would be there to answer any questions for residents. That would help us kind of like bridge the gap until we get everything under us as far as the rest of Safe Built and the building inspection process and that. The second thing was we thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to have permit technician services in case of something. I'm on vacation, Connie gets sick, and a permit needs to be processed. This would just be, it would be an additional person that would help in case something like that were to happen. That would be odd for it to happen, but it would be helpful. And then the third is when we start having all the development be in the building and stuff, it might not be a bad idea to have additional services to help process those permits. So if we don't need them, we don't pay for them, but at least we have the services available to us if we need to take advantage of them. So the ordinance is to enter into agreement for that particular service.
Yeah,
So this
would-
would be a,
Contract
like
as
per
needed.
permit.
Yes,
exactly
per basis, yeah. Because we had nothing like that. That's why there's houses that were built in the last couple of years that shouldn't be there, because we didn't.
And the building inspector is doing a great job. It's nice to be able to defer to him on building issues, and he's been giving really great counsel, and I think being a help to folks that are trying to build, and they're getting their questions answered on a timely
Need a
basis.
Sponsor for ordinance? All right, yeah. Deb Schaffner, sponsor, who's gonna second? All right, so, we'll send that up to council. All in favor? Aye? No? It's unanimous. We'll send it up to council.
Yeah.
And then what we got next is another ordinance of, ordinance
Oh, this is mine.
2025-35, and we're moving monies.
No, we're not moving
we're
money, we're increasing.
appropriating?
We're adding more appropriations to the swimming pool fund. It don't have, you know, I mean, it all tails with concession stand. I run out of money to pay salaries. So, wasn't taking, you know, we've hired more staff, so what I budgeted this year, we ran out of money.
Well, we just weren't.
We're just moving it from.
No,
Yes,
we're not
one
moving it.
account to
So
another,
We're
yes.
increasing revenues, we're also increasing,
Expenditure.
appropriations side.
Yes,
It's a wash.
It's a wash.
it's a wash. Yep.
We gotta authorize it.
Yeah, payroll's this week, so I need this passed.
Form of sponsor.
As an emergency,
Yeah.
correct?
Form makes motion, we send this to council.
Schaffner, second.
All right, so we got a motion made and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. We'll send it up to council. It's unanimous. All right, back to. Next is, new business is Mid-Ohio Regional Planning Commission. I guess Baltimore is going to join MORPC.
So we were members for a while, and then in 2000, I think it's 2012, 2013, our subscription or whatever that's called lapsed, or I think council chose not to renew that because they didn't see a return on investment. What I've learned since then is there has been a lot of retooling of MORPC. Member care has increased. They have retooled their services. My understanding is, and it is limited, my understanding is though that it was kind of like, here's what you got, and if you want it, you get it, and if not, you know, you just take it.
How much does it cost?
It's about $1,700 a year. It would give us access to a couple of things. It would give us access to community-based planning assistance. Morpsey also does a lot with state and federal government relations. It would give us access to those kind of services. It would also give us access to grant finding. Now, we do have that through Hicks, but I thought another source wouldn't be
We
a
can
bad
use every
idea.
source we can get when it comes to
They
grant
also
funding.
provide educational resources, and then I think you have so many hours
Bless you.
a year for consultant work, those kind of things. I thought it was a good idea. I wanted to bring that to council. If you don't think it's a good idea, that's fine with me, of course, but I just wanted to throw that out to
We
you
have it
guys.
as an ordinance or resolution.
It's,
a resolution.
it was
It's
a resolution.
If you decide to do that, we would, it's not numbered, so it's in limbo. So if you, were thinking about doing this, we'd have to amend the agenda on a council meeting to add it. It'd be the next number. And right now, it's not numbered.
Yeah,
It's just brought to your attention, this is what,
And what, I think what it boils down to is if, the village administrator takes advantage of the services they provide and uses them to benefit the village, then it's a good investment. But if the village administrator doesn't, then it's a waste of money.
Sure.
So I guess the question is, Matt, do you think it would be a valuable resource at your disposal?
I think personally it would be. We also get a seat on the board, the Morpsey board. I think that would be good for us to be represented on that. Fairfield County is, like the commissioners are, Violet Township, they're not on there. But some of the other local municipalities are, I think that would be valuable. And my thought is too, is at the end of next year, we look at it,
We
we
look at
say,
it, if we didn't take
it's not
advantage of
a-
the services, then we're
then
wasting
we're not
our
gonna
money.
do that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I
so-
think anytime we get, like with the grant stuff, I bug you all the time to go after free money, and
A year later, I'm just gonna wanna see what our return on
yes,
investment.
yes, sir.
I think that's fair.
That's
Yeah,
like-
for sure.
For next year then, or?
Yeah.
2026.
It would
Yeah.
start in 2026.
Yep.
So do they have, provide access to like databases for finding things, like you wanna find a grant for something specific?
Yeah, so they have people who are scouring for grants. And so that would be something that would be produced on a monthly basis that we
So
could
you
take
can ask
advantage
them,
of.
Hey, I got a reference question for you, can you look this up for us, and if you got something,
Yep.
send it our way.
I think so. I mean, I think that that's a part of that membership.
Yeah, that's good. And like you say, we can always let it lapse again if
Yeah.
it's not bang for the buck, so yeah, I'm
Yep.
all for it. I
We'll
guess,
just take it up to
committee wants to
council.
send that up to council.
I'll make
for,
a motion that we send this to council and
Okay.
authorize rejoining Morpsey.
All right, so we've got a motion to get a resolution numbered for joining Morpsey.
It would be 2025-36.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, approved.
like I said, we'll have to amend the agenda.
Yeah, that's fine. It doesn't have to be passed tonight anyways, cause it's,
All right, and let's see. Looks like that's the end of new business. So anything else come before the service committee? Yeah.
Just got a question, on the Loney property across from the bowling alley,
yeah,
there was some excavation
Mhm.
going on there. Was curious, what was that all about?
that's Walnut Township. That property is not annexed into Baltimore. I heard that he's gonna move a house that's in the back up there, but that has nothing to do with us right now.
Yeah, I didn't,
Yeah,
the big farmhouse stuff?
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I heard.
If it's sewer though, it would be full.
Yeah, it's not sewer.
Okay.
It's 100% is the sewer.
Well, if sewer's available, he's not gonna be able to put in private septic, so it will be sewer.
Right,
He's
it
gonna
will
have
be,
to attach- He's gonna have to tap
right,
our force main.
100%, I agree. I feel, I've had a lot of calls on that. I have a conference call set up with him tomorrow to ask him, what is he doing? I was told that he asked Walnut Township and they said he could do it.
So do we need to contact Walnut
Yeah.
Township and ask him what's his sewer gonna be? I think,
No, that's not the health department.
Yeah,
well, but I think this goes back to what the thing that Brad had with the ORC saying that it's in ORC that it's required, if it's available, they have to. They won't be able to do it.
well, his intentions are for us to annex that farm, 100%. Pardon me?
Did
They sold it, yes.
It's sold, it's gone.
So, yes. Yep. I hate to answer a question I don't know the answer to that doesn't, that we can't have any control. We don't have any control of it as of right now. But it is definitely, I'll tell you what, when I find out tomorrow, Matt will call you though, Steve. I promise you that.
Yeah, it's just curiosity.
Yeah, no, I would be too if I lived out there.
I worry that he's gonna separate that lot off and then request one free tap.
He won't get any free taps from
Well,
us.
we have it in our, we have it in our ordinances that if you sign an annexation agreement, you get one free sewer and one free water, and if he sections off a lot, he would be able to get one, the way it stands now. The reason I bring it up is, do we wanna address that? Is there a way to exclude him from that?
Well, the proposed annexation agreement has the fees set forth for water and sewer. Yeah.
But what if he creates a new lot?
I mean, I guess that's a possibility, but I think it's so unlikely that that's gonna happen.
Cause if he wanted to sell that house off on a 2-acre lot or a 1-acre lot, he would get it surveyed, and now he's got a new lot, and he annexes just that one lot.
Yeah, but-
I'm just trying to foresee a potential problem, that's
Right.
all.
Okay. I can get with the mayor and
Yeah.
we can discuss it.
Well, I'm gonna have a conversation with him tomorrow just to see what that's all about.
Okay.
Cause I don't know. I'm like everybody else. I saw him digging a hole,
Yeah.
and it's not sewer. It's a basement.
That close to the river.
Agreed.
Holy.
Agreed. Agreed.
He doesn't wanna use up any land for that.
That ought to be against,
Well, I'm surprised the state lets it.
Means Walnut Township and state.
State route.
Yeah, it's close.
Yeah.
But if Walnut Township probably has very, very small setbacks, cause they got the lake in their
Yeah.
township.
Yeah.
And if he's outside the state of Ohio easement, he's outside of there.
Yeah. He ain't getting nothing free though.
Well, he's gonna look for every advantage.
I know- I know.
That's the nature of the beast.
All right, well, that's it, I guess. Next meeting will be held fourth Monday in September, 22nd September, 6 PM. I need a motion to adjourn.
Foreman makes a motion to adjourn.
Shopper seconds.
Okay, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye, adjourned, 6:48.
Safety Committee call to order. Can we get a roll call?
Phillips.
Here.
Present.
Here.
Also in attendance is everybody, all of council, the mayor, and we got visitors. Anybody back there want to talk to the Safety Committee? Okay. Can we get approval of the minutes for July 28th, 2025?
I move to approve the minutes.
A second.
2025 goals, 0 workplace accidents.
Motion.
Oh, motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2025 goals, 0 workplace accidents, 2, 0 fatal accidents, 0 reports. Village administrator,
I have nothing to report.
police chief.
Yeah, so it looks like good news, bad news. Our canine Ren looks like he's got a medical condition that's gonna force his retirement.
That sucks.
On the right side, we've got one of our officers, well, that was the canine officer, he has his own canine that, we took out and had tested, and the trainer is just 100% positive that he can train him to replace him. So,
Good.
more to come on what we're gonna have to do with Ren, but, it looks like he's gonna be retired. So, and that's really all I have to add for this meeting.
Old business, looks like none. New business, Yenser Street handicap parking sign.
Yeah, so there was a resident at 235 Yenser Street. There was a handout on the one side. It has some things Tim was working on over the last couple weeks, but on the other side is a map that looks like this. Yenser Street is the one that's outlined in blue. The lady that lives here has a handicap and was stating that particularly during heavy event situations like football season, she has a very difficult time given the proximity of her home to the intersection there of Yenser and Kumar, that there's line of sight obstructions and she has difficulty pulling out of her driveway and getting out safely. I said that I would bring this to you. She's requesting a handicap parking sign being installed there on the north side of her driveway. So she does have a driveway to pull in,
Yeah.
but has difficulty pulling out. The X, which is, it looks to you perhaps like it's right over top that car, but that's the north side of her driveway, and she's asking that there'd be a spot there that would create better line of sight for her being able to get out of her parking spot.
Paint the curb
I'm-
yellow or something?
Well, so I'll start at the beginning. You don't wanna use a handicap parking spot for a line of sight issue. That's the first thing, because she's not using it to park there. So, besides that, if you do that, someone that's handicapped can't park there. And she does not park in the street. They don't park in the street. I've looked at this for the last 2 weeks. So, it's using the handicap piece to get nobody to park in front of the house. That's, call it what it is.
If somebody living where I do could go over there and park, and
Yes.
not a thing could be done about it.
Right. The second thing is, during the 6 football games that we have, every single driveway in that side of town has this problem. Cause you're allowed to park right up to the driveway on both sides. So, every single driveway has it for 6 times a year. And so, I don't see any reason why we should do
That's
this,
true, too.
because
I
then,
didn't think about
every
6
single person in the village can come say the exact same thing, and then who are you gonna say no to? You really have no choice at that point but to do everybody that way.
She has brought this to council before.
Yeah.
In previous years, I recall.
Yep.
And I walk in that area all the time. Now, there is a handicap sign that's on down a ways.
That's for the neighbor.
That's for Miss Hannah. yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, if it's for that purpose, no, cause she has a driveway.
Then they park in the driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been looking at it for 2 weeks, cause this kinda came up about 3 weeks ago or so, and.
If I was so worried about it, I would park on the street during a football game.
Yeah, hold the spot.
And then if I needed to get out, I would be able to get out.
Well, and yeah, especially if you parked back from your driveway a little bit, you know what I mean, that, to do it, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's simple fixes.
I have another resident that was, has the same problem, but not for football, just because people with the daycare park up against his driveway and stuff, so I've scoured through the our ordinance, trying to see if there's let's call it a setback from a driveway, or, you know, and there isn't, so there's nothing to do with that, so I've gotta tell him the same thing, I'm like, I don't know what to say, but it's, the people are, you know, parking in the right of way and they're allowed to park there,
Is
so.
she physically capable of walking out to the street? I mean,
It's a site thing, if I'm not mistaken, it's not.
That's what I recall too.
okay.
Can we make the recommendation
So she can't drive
without the signage, but that,
She can.
She drives.
Wait a minute.
She just has one eye, that's all.
Oh,
suggesting that use your own car to hold a place
Shut up, Gar.
on the street.
You can if you want to, but like say, if you do it for one, it's gonna be really hard to.
Right, no, that's why I'm saying, just.
I guess the other thing that is
Suggestion.
if what you said, a simpler solution is the days of the football game, park your car. I mean, that makes
Or
sense
buy
to me
some
too.
orange
Or don't
pylons and
leave
put
your
them out there.
house.
But they won't, they can't do that, that's illegal, yeah. All right, so we'll leave it to Matt to take care of that.
I'm happy to. Thank you.
Anybody got anything else for safety committee? If not, next meeting is, September 22nd, immediately following service. Request that we adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
I second it. All in favor? Oh,
Aye.
sorry.
We always find ourselves talking about parking, don't we?
get a roll call, please, Brian?
Present.
Present.
Here.
Here.
I'll have Carol put USA in.
Can I get somebody, a motion to approve the minutes from August 11th
Make a
council
motion,
meeting?
we approve the minutes for August 11th.
Get a second?
Foreman seconds.
Can I get a roll call on that, please?
Phillips.
Yes.
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 Cosgrove.
Yes.
Abstain.
And Reed.
Yes.
Get approval of the agenda this evening?
We need to make a amendment to the agenda and add, resolution 2025-36, authorizing the village administrator to, join Morpsey. So Foreman makes a motion that we amend the agenda.
Schaffner seconds.
Get a second on that?
Schaffner did.
Mm-hmm. And we had two other ordinances that we had to,
They're already on the agenda.
okay. Roll call?
Foreman.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Okay. Foreman makes a motion, we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
Get a roll call on that, please, Brian?
Foreman.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yep.
Reed.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
Are there any visitors that would like to speak during council today? Okay. Okay, village administrator reports. So I really have one thing that I want to say that I wasn't going to say anything, but I'm going to. I on Sundays I drive around and just look at the streets and look at stuff, and I generally get caught by somebody that's out in their yard, and I always stop and talk if they want to. I had a lady tell me yesterday that she was told either somebody that works for the village or somebody in here that the mayor, being me, is all pro wanting to build and wanting development and this and that. And I'm going to say this on the record so it's really clear. I have never said I want development to come. I have never said I want them to build a bunch of houses. The only thing that we've approved thus far was stuff that was already in the works. And I want to make that clear. I've never said, hey, let's bring houses here. If we never build another house in Baltimore, I'd be okay with it, but it's not going to happen. And as far as the east side goes, to 37, we had a choice to make, and that we made that choice as a group, and that was we were either going to embrace what was coming out east of the village, and we were going to be the recipient of the tax dollars and some of the things that came, or we were going to let another village take it and do it. And we all agreed that that wasn't the right thing to do too. But I just want to, if somebody thinks in this room that I am for Baltimore doubling inside, when I hear those things, when they say that, it makes me cringe just like it does everybody else. But I'm also a realist, and I'm also, I want to be a part of this so we can decide, so we can make sure that these people that want to come here, they pay their way and that they do things the right way. So there's no willy-nilly in houses and stuff. I live here, my grandkids live here. So I want to put that on the record that is definitely not the case from me personally. And I don't think it's the case for any of you. But I just want to say it out loud, and I want to say it in the microphone so people know that that is not the case. I've never said let's bring development to Baltimore, ever. So if it's going to come, I want to embrace it and do it the correct way. And that's really all I have. Let's go to the village administrator.
I don't have anything to add to my report. The only thing I did want to bring up the trick or treat.
Oh yeah, let's get that out of the way. What was your?
My recommendation was going to be October 31st from 6 to 8.
Wait a minute, is that
That's
on?
Friday.
It's a Friday.
We looked at that, Morpsey, a lot of those municipalities are
No.
doing it, I think Thursday.
Yeah, it's football Friday night too. We can't do
Thursday,
that.
and if 5:30 to 7 seems to work well, 5 seems
That's
just
fine.
tad early, cause it's usually an hour and a half.
So would
Anybody have
Thursday
any
night
plans?
before be better?
So
Yes, it
October
would definitely
30th.
be better.
October 30th
Yes.
from
5:30 to 7. We used to do 5 to 7. Just seemed like it
Well,
was.
the mayor will get, we're discussing it right now, Brian. You always want discussion, that's what we're having.
Sorry,
The mayor
we're
will make the
talking.
decision. The mayor
Not
will
wrong
make
there,
the
Brian.
decision.
Yeah, the
It's
decision.
up to you, Mayor.
After
Yeah,
the
the
discussion,
the
Mayor, what
decision
would
is
you like
this.
to do?
Yeah.
The decision is that we're going to do it on the 30th. We're going to do it from 5:30 to 7:30. It's just that way it's done.
7:30?
Yes,
It's the 7th or 5? What?
5:30 to 7:30 on the 30th. We can't do it on football Friday night.
Good call.
I mean, we could, but you would make a lot
Yes,
of people
no,
unhappy.
we don't want to do that.
Nobody wants to do
Terrible.
that.
Nope, we don't want to do that.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Okay. So we have that settled. Can we put that? That's done deal. Mr. Fiscal Officer, do you have anything?
Yes, there's a resolution that had been discussed with me. It's 2025-32. That's accepting the amounts and rates as determined by it's a formality thing you have to do with the county auditor. I just need you to bypass the committee before you have first reading. Is that correct, Jeff? Yeah. I need to explain to that too. It's basically the certification,
We're bypassing committee and passing it by emergency?
no, you don't have to pass it by.
We're just bypassing committee and
bypassing committee.
putting it up for the 3 readings? Foreman will sponsor that.
That should come out of finance too, so.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't hear
Well,
the
we'll
number.
bypass the committee, so it doesn't matter.
It's number 32.
2025-32.
It's the resolution accepting the amounts and rates, tax rates for next year.
Oh,
so we collect
okay.
property taxes.
It's letting us collect property tax. Can we get a second on that?
Well, I'm just asking to bypass the,
Okay, all right.
when we get to that, that's the first one on.
Okay. All right, Mr. Solicitor, do you have anything?
Just 5 pieces of legislation on for first reading, nothing for second, nothing for third, that's it. That's all I
Okay.
have.
Village Council Committee reports, Finance?
Mr. Mayor, we did not meet tonight, however, we'll meet on September 8th at 6 PM.
Service?
Service met today. We had some folks from V3, Tim Turner, right, and Mike Crane.
Mhm.
And they were talking about council should contract with some folks who are experts in development finance. So we probably need to pay for a study and contract with finance folks through V3. They have recommendations for companies to do a request for qualifications to firms to put out bids for that. Those advisors or firms that would advise us on that. And then there were couple of resolutions or ordinances came out of committee to one of them was a forestry grant resolution. The other one was for Build Safe for tech for service inspections, and then also for the pool for appropriations.
Jeff, when, we don't need legislation for, I wasn't quite sure. Council can just authorize V3 to do that, that whole thing,
Financial consulting.
financial control.
We're trying to,
We're just having V3 put out an RFQ to.
Yeah, there's no.
We're not spending any money yet. We're
Yeah.
just getting an RFQ created so we can get
Yeah.
present
yes.
Council
options.
can do that by
Yeah,
motion.
yeah, and I made a motion we do it.
Okay.
So I'll do it in council.
Okay, safety.
Safety met, not much on the agenda. Talked about a little bit of parking at Run Youngsters.
Rules.
We did not meet tonight. Our next meeting is September 8th at 6:30 or immediately following finance.
Yes, ma'am. Public Safety Reports, Police Chief?
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add, yes, sir. Basil Joint Fire District, Fire Board?
Yeah, we met on the 21st at 6:30 at the fire station. Basically, the new ladder truck is being built for the district, and it's making good progress. And we also accepted rates for our income tax, just like the village did. Next meeting for fire board is going to be September. It looks like the 19th.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nope.
the 18th. Sorry, September 18th.
Okay. Moving to village committees and commissions, Planning and Zoning Commission. We really didn't have anything last week for that, did we, Brandy, I was trying to think of, it was just kind of a, I don't even think we had anything to discuss, did we? There was,
We had, go ahead.
there was one thing.
We approved the commission approved the preliminary plat for Fairfield Reserve.
Yes.
And then planning and zoning also approved Ken Reinshields that owns the 7 parcels at South Creek View. He wants to take that from 7 parcels to 1 large parcel, which would just make that 1 large lot, remove the roundabout that's platted with the county right now, as well as some a certain length of street. And so the commission approved his request. Mr. Faco is looking into if that's all that needs to be done, or if that's something that needs to come to council. And so I'll keep you updated on that.
Do we know why he wants to do that?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to
He's
build
having
any
a
more
hard,
houses.
yeah, he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to pay for the infrastructure to, my understanding is, he doesn't want to pay for the infrastructure to create the 7 parcels. And so this would allow him to just basically take a driveway into the 1 parcel and then just build one
One
Yeah,
house.
and single
A
residence.
couple of the 7 parcels are like borderline floodplain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually looked at it and looked into the feasibility of developing it myself, and I passed on it because it's not feasible the way it's.
Yeah,
designed
it's,
right
and this is a good thing. He just wants a bigger lot and 1 house. That's,
One house.
that's what we want anyway, so. All right, tree commission. I don't think, other than filling out the grant the grant for next year, that's all that's really going on there. Records commission, Brian?
Waiting on a meeting.
Waiting on establishing a meeting date.
For,
For the commission.
okay. And bicentennial commission.
Not much going on there. September, there's 2 events in September. September 13th and 14th is the harvest celebration that we always have out at Smith Park. And on September 28th, we'll have a walking tour of Baltimore and a walking tour at Lazo.
Super.
Can I say one thing about the tree commission?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to add, I don't know if everybody realizes how much work that tree commission does, carrying the 5-gallon buckets of water, like filling them up at home. It's a lot of work that those volunteers do. So
A lot.
I just want to make sure everybody understands they give a lot of time.
Yes, them and who's it? The Basel Flower Club that does all the planters in town.
Yes, they do also.
It's the same thing, carrying gallons of
It's
water
a lot
and
of work. And
yes.
those flower pots look great and the
Yes.
trees look great, but without the people carrying the water to all of those.
Yeah, that might not be a bad thing, Matt, if you'd take this down, that we somehow thank them on our village website.
Yep.
For sure.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yes, ma'am. All right, well, we're gonna go into motions.
Foreman makes a motion that we authorize the village administrator to instruct V3 to create an RFQ to look into acquiring a financial advisor on development financing.
Reedy seconds.
Do we need a roll call on that, Brian?
Foreman,
Yes.
Reedy,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Coppier,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Okay, Foreman makes a motion that we discontinue offering free tap fees in exchange for annexation agreements. I originally made that motion, or made a motion that we start doing that because we found ourselves hemmed in on the east side of town with people who already had private septic and municipal water and no reason to annex. And now it's as though that's been solved because we've annexed the railroad tracks and now everything east of town is already going to start being adjacent or contiguous. And so we were trying to incentivize people to help free up the log jam that was preventing us from annexing to the east. But that log jam no longer exists. I think most people in town feel like we're growth hungry and trying to grow when we're really not.
No.
We're simply trying to incentivize some people who had no reason to annex, try to give them a reason to annex. So I'd like to make a motion that we discontinue exchanging free tap fees for annexation agreements.
Have we done that before? I mean, have we
Just
given
started
somebody?
doing it about 3 or 4 years ago, yes.
Okay.
There has been several people that got free tap fees in exchange. Well, that's what all of Fast Max was, basically.
They didn't pay a tap fee?
Yeah, Ryan Klum didn't pay a tap fee because when I annexed the 7 acres or 8 acres there was a free tap fee.
Well, we can't get
given
out
with
of that one, because that's an agreement that.
Yeah, the ones that are already in place, you're stuck with. I guess I'm just making a motion that we discontinue it.
Well, and there's nothing we can do about the corner of 37 and 256
Yeah, you can't
either.
undo what's been done.
Right.
That's fine, but I'm just saying that the reason we did it no longer exists.
Okay.
Because nothing was contiguous to the east, because all those people had municipal sewer, or municipal water, which was Thurston water, and they had private septic, so they didn't need to annex into the village. Well, now when people are building out there, there's a sewer line, so they should be required to tap that. There's a water line, so they're gonna be required to tap that. And we're contiguous all the way to 37 because of the railroad tracks and the pending annexation. I don't feel as though we need to continue offering free tap fees in exchange for annexation agreements.
I have no problems with the motion. Have we had any recent requests for that? My recollection is, again, no issue with the motion, but I think that we have offered that in the past, but I think that it was time limited. It was only in existence for a certain period of time as kind of an incentive for those property owners to come to the village and say, yes, we do agree to annex, and in exchange for that, the village offered financial incentive for them to do that. But I'm not aware of anybody doing that any time recently. So
Not since I've been here.
I don't think a couple of them sent anything back, did they? There was a couple that didn't send anything back. So
What do you mean?
their time limit
Yes, sir.
has expired.
Like
Yeah,
they
you can
have
talk.
it annexed and they had to, or
Haven't signed the
They're-
Or
agreement.
they had signed the agreement, and
Hadn't
that
signed the-
time lapse has expired for them to sign that agreement.
did they
So-
get free taps though? Okay.
So,
I just, if that was a limited offer, I guess we need to know that.
yeah.
I didn't think I don't know of a limitation on the offer, to be honest with you.
while we're conducting business, I'll look in the ordinance or ordinance book and see.
Okay.
Okay, if it's time limited, my motion's a mute point, but if it wasn't time limited, then I'd like to start
Steve
that
has
process.
something to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question. I don't know anything. I'm on Thurston Water, private septic.
Right,
Village administrator before Terry. Scott?
yeah.
Scott Brown, yeah. We went to the county. They were gonna force us to tie into the sewer, and it was brought up. How are you gonna tie us into the sewer if we got Thurston water? Oh, we're gonna cut that off when you're gonna hook up to ours.
Yeah, that's what we've done
County
on
turned that
others.
down. They said no. So, how are you gonna make us, I don't understand. Are you gonna say, Steve, you gotta cut off from Thurston water, now you gotta get Baltimore water, and then I have to annex?
Well,
I mean, what's the deal here?
well, you don't have to do anything the way you are right now.
What's gonna happen with Thurston? What are you guys gonna do about Thurston water? Yeah, as long as Thurston water's there,
There was a couple houses here on the north side of 256 that did the annexation agreement,
I know
did get this-
bowling alley and
yeah,
stuff, but,
and they did switch from Thurston water to Baltimore water.
cause they wanted the sewer,
Yes,
and
and you can't build the sewer if you don't go on the water, because that's how you measure the
I
sewer.
got you. But
So, the
what you're
ones
gonna
that
do
did it
now, are you
have
gonna make
switched-
us say, you gotta hook up to our water, and that means we gotta do the
We're
sewer?
not making you do anything.
No, we can't undo Thurston's water.
Okay, I just was curious. 'Cause
If you end up needing our sewer in order to get it, yes, you'd have to cut off Thurston water and
That's
and
what the
tap
county
water.
said.
Yes,
Yeah.
but we're not making anybody do anything. But if your septic system gets condemned because of flooding, and then you aren't allowed to put in a new one, then you're gonna need our sewer, and then yes, you would need our water.
Major repairs you can't do.
Can I suggest that maybe we just look into this? I mean, is it something that has to be done tonight?
I don't think it can be done tonight.
I'll look into it for certain and give
Okay.
feedback on it. So.
Okay, I have a question. So if he has to go on our sewer in the future, maybe, we don't know.
Yeah.
If he has to go on and it has to change to Baltimore Water, are we gonna make him do tap fees?
I'd say we could do a carve out for that scenario.
Yeah, we'd have to
Right
do a
now,
carve out.
it's just a blanket, if you sign
Right.
an annexation agreement, you get a free water tap and a free sewer tap. That's different than what you just said.
And that's
If
what you
someone
were
has their
saying,
septic
right?
system
I've never
condemned-
been asked anything about annexation, it's just like.
Well, you weren't even contiguous, we couldn't,
Yeah, you're not, yeah.
unless your back property maybe is, I don't know.
I don't,
Yeah, your back.
my back property, I should.
We'd have to carve out probably something for everybody in
That.
those woods there, from where the first house all the way to the
Yeah, I
end.
guess I'd just
Yeah.
suggest that we change it from what it was, as
Right.
according to my understanding, to what we're
I
talking about
think
now.
there would be another clause in all of those agreements.
Like, so you had so much time.
I don't recall.
Or so what do they call it,
Well-
sunset?
I don't
the
recall
sunset
it. I don't
clause.
recall a sunset clause at all.
Well, we'll just have Jeff look into it.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
bring it
I
up at
think
the next
bring that up
meeting.
Next meeting.
We'll put it on the agenda for the
Agenda.
next meeting.
Are you gonna withdraw your motion?
Sure. Foreman withdraws his motion.
All right, let's go to the reading of ordinances. So who was the sponsor of this first one, Brian?
The first one, I don't think, we didn't have them in the committee, someone has to.
Yeah, we're bypassing committee.
Oh, okay,
And
so,
I said
Oh, that's right, yes, right.
Foreman makes a motion that we bypass committee on resolution 2025-32.
so do I need to read it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 25-32, resolution accepting the amounts and rates determined by the Fairfield County Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor and a declaration of an emergency.
Foreman makes a motion we bypass 3 readings.
No, bypass.
Bypass committee. Oh, and then we're gonna bypass 3 readings and then we're
No,
gonna.
no, it can be read.
Always going 3 times, isn't it? Okay, never mind. Bypass committee.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, can I get a roll call on that?
Foreman.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
That's first reading.
Brian, what's the
sponsor-
deadline for submitting that?
October 1st.
Okay.
And who's sponsor of that?
I think
Sure.
Rick is.
Rick is.
Okey-doke.
So who is the sponsor of this next one?
This was discussed at service, I think.
Yeah,
I
for
don't
the
remember.
grant, let me pull up my notes real quick, for the grant. I
33.
think that was Rick.
Yeah.
Okay.
She did the safe bill and I did this one.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this.
Yeah.
Resolution 2533, a resolution authorizing the village administrator to submit a grant application to provide all information and document required to become eligible for possible funding assistance for an Ohio Urban Forestry Grant administered through the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, funded through a USDA Forest Service and Inflation Reduction Act at the declaration of an emergency.
Yeah, Foreman, I sponsored this and this is due right away, so I'm gonna make a motion to bypass 3 readings.
Any discussion on that?
We need a second.
Second.
Can I
I'll
get a
second
second?
that.
Okay. Any discussion on that? Okay, can I get a roll call, please?
Foreman.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Edie.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
So now we have to make a motion to pass it, correct?
Foreman makes a motion to adopt.
McCreary seconds.
Any discussion? Can I get a roll call on that, please, Brian?
Foreman.
Yes.
McCreary.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Edie.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Okay, the next ordinance is, Ms. Schaffner, and it's ordinance 25-34, an ordinance authorizing the village administrator to enter into an amended agreement with Safe Built Ohio LLC for the residential building department services and and we'd like to pass this,
I need to clarify something. This 34, is it the same one that we just talked about, or is there a
In
36?
service.
Cause he said 36.
Oh, you agreed to sponsor this, this is what you
What's that?
You agreed to sponsor this.
I know, I did.
But 36 was something else.
36 is something else.
Oh, okay.
There's a resolution on the,
More PC.
Morpsey.
This has to do with space.
This is safe bill, mine was Morpsey.
Okay.
I'll second this one.
It would be great if it was passed tonight, so we could get things going.
You do wanna suspend?
I- it-
I'll make a motion to suspend the reading rule.
McCray seconds.
Any discussion? Can I get a roll call on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
And now I'm gonna make the motion to adopt, ordinance 2025-34.
McCray seconds.
Any discussion? May I get a roll call on that?
Shelton.
Yep.
McCready.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the last ordinance, I'm not sure who the sponsor is. This is
I'll sponsor.
so we can pay the people at the pool. Ordinance 25-35, an ordinance to amend the 2025 appropriation ordinance.
I make a motion that, what am I doing?
Spending, I need money.
You, oh, that's right,
needs it
yeah.
now.
We're suspending the 3 reading rule.
I'll second it.
Needs it for payday.
Any discussion? Guarded. All right. Now, roll call on that.
Reed.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Shelton.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
McCready.
Yes.
Now we need a
Now I make a
motion
motion to pass it, the 2025-35.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? May I get a roll call on that, please, Brian?
Reed.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Foreman.
Yes.
Shelton.
Yes.
Cosgrove.
Yes.
McCready.
Yes.
Okay.
Get that resolution that we added to the agenda.
Or more, see?
A resolution authorizing the village administrator to execute the necessary paperwork
To join the
Village
emergency.
To do the emergency. Yes.
and declaration of emergency. Do you have it?
It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to
We're
be
not
an
passing it,
emergency.
it's just a
Yeah.
reading.
Yes,
First-
okay.
It's on for first reading.
Okay.
Sponsors Foreman.
I don't have anything really to read for that then, right?
I just read it.
Yeah.
And I went to the service committee meeting and
Yes,
pulled
yes.
it back up so I could
Thank
read
you.
it for you.
I was wondering, cause that was very good.
Yeah. That was, I was,
I was like, wow.
Where's he getting all this?
It's one of those, yeah, we're not gonna join him this year.
right.
Yeah,
I
so
got
you
you.
just get through reading.
So they don't prorate that for the rest of the year?
They can.
I'd say we
They
just
can,
wait
but
till, yeah,
I'm okay with just waiting.
We're joining for a year and then assessing its
after if we.
usefulness.
All right, there are no second readings. There are no third readings. There are no tabled ordinances. Is there any old business that anyone would like to discuss? Is there any new business that any of you?
I do have a question on this.
Sure.
I should have asked this back in Brett's report, but, somebody had mentioned to me about license plates on the police cars that say Baltimore Bus. Is that a new thing, or did you?
It's been that way for 20 years.
Is there a problem with that? Is somebody complaining about it?
Every
Well,
sheriff's
I mean,
cruiser
I
has
think
it.
that there's always an issue about, separation of church and state, and I think that's the basis.
What kind of, any coin you have, it's
Yeah,
right on any
it's on every
coin you
piece of money.
carry.
That ship
Besides-
sailed.
It's a fair
Besides,
question,
the
though.
separation is that we don't tell people how to,
Yeah.
or, you know.
You could
it's
be
not-
like,
could be Muslim and still trust in God.
Pastafarian, and like, the flying spaghetti monster could be your thing.
Yeah, they are on the sheriff's
Every sheriff's cruiser has it.
cruiser as well, yeah.
I think it was a fair question, though.
Yeah, it is. 100%. Any other new business? Any visitors like to say anything?
I'd like to ramble on for a moment.
Sure.
John Daft, Liberty Township liaison, and as some of you may have known, I did try to get on council for the recent election. I would just wanted to say that it's not because I'm mad about anything or mad at any of you. I think that you are a group of very impassioned and dedicated people. What I wanted to say was I was very encouraged by what B3 had to say tonight about bringing the financial consultants on board. My thought was, how similar to this is what Liberty Township is trying to do to get a CETA, a TIF, I forget all the various acronyms, but I think there is some real urgency here. Liberty Township gets all kinds of activity coming from the west and from the north, like it is coming. I really wish that all that energy could be put together and we could work together, because I think by and large we are all on the same page. But I do think it's a very urgent situation, and as you know this already, but anything that isn't already legislated before it happens, miss the boat.
The only thing that's held up us up with doing something jointly together is their attorney presented us with a map of the village of Baltimore, with a line saying you can annex this, but you can't access that, and there's nobody on council that's willing to, and including myself, that's willing to say.
And I don't completely understand I know that's an affront.
Right.
And I don't completely understand where that philosophy comes from, or what, to what end that helps.
Yeah, we
Right.
don't either.
Yeah,
Right.
and upfront was a good word.
Okay.
Well, and the truth is, and I just want you to understand, John, our plate's full. We don't have any desire we're not trying to beg people to come here.
We were actually presenting it as a benefit to them to help them ward off other people pushing into their township and help them maintain their revenue stream with the development that does happen, where as we annex, their revenue stream changes a little bit, and by entering into an agreement with us, it was an effort to help make sure that their revenue stream was maintained.
And I don't think they're worried about revenue stream. They don't have.
They presented to me that they were
Yeah.
a year and a half ago.
And I don't know what I don't know, but I don't
Yeah.
think they have a lot of infrastructure. They have little.
Well, we spent a year and 3 months meeting with them on quite a regular basis, and I thought we had an agreement until they presented us with the map. And listen, we're all in this together. I agreed. However, putting lines on a map for the village, it's not going to affect anybody probably in this room, but the future of Baltimore and the people that come here after us, you can't hamstring them into saying, hey, those 2 fields out there on the other side of Walnut Creek, you can't annex them, or we have to ask permission.
Right.
We just can't have that, but it's nothing. They're good human beings. I mean, it's just we have to do what's right for the village.
Right. But so I just.
From my perspective, if you look in the Ohio Revised Code, there's all these descriptions on legally how things should be annexed, and our right as a municipality to annex adjacent properties. So that's laid out already. So essentially what the township was asking us to do was to abdicate or nullify our rights under the ORC on properties that may become adjacent in the future.
Yeah, for councils that people aren't even on council yet.
Right, then that's all we're saying is we just don't want to hamstring again, it's not going to, everything we got going on now, man, it's everything we can handle. But in the future, somebody else might want to do something different.
And I don't know what I don't know, and lots of these discussions are privy to only y'all.
Right.
And held in executive session and so forth. I mean, that's part of my interest in wanting to join council is
Sure.
to get a computer and a comfier chair.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah,
Half the time.
You don't want the
Okay,
computer.
well, it's really about the chair, but also for the executive sessions, and so I can really know. But I
Right.
guess that's my question to you. Have you said yes, Liberty Township? We would go there with you, but we're not going there with you.
Yes,
What?
That is our answer.
that was our
That
answer.
is.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
We want to work together.
We do want to work together with them.
That line that was like a.
Basically, we just agree to disagree on it.
In
If
There's
if-
one
if you're-
stumbling block.
Yes.
If you're their liaison, you're not aware of those developments then?
no, I mean liaison, spy. You know.
Yeah,
however
and
you wanna
there's
say it,
the
you
thing
know.
is even in the executive sessions, we're not. We're an open book as far as I'm concerned. Everybody here, and again, we want to work with everybody, but we have to do they got to do what's right for them. We got to do what's right for us, and we've seen that. That's a situation. The situation east of town is the same situation. The people of Thurston are wonderful people. I mean,
It's just like the rumor mill.
right.
You
Sure.
and it goes around on this social media, which is not so social.
No.
And the rumor mill gets started, and we're a bunch of land grabbing
Not the truth.
council member, whatever. But we plead with people to come in here,
Yeah.
and they won't. They'll sit behind their keyboard and their screen, but they won't come in here and address us.
No, I saw that work. I was here for the meeting where the outfit came about the prefabbed homes, and then I saw how that manifested out on.
Oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right.
We were going to let them do 600 houses.
Right, right. It's happening tomorrow.
Yes.
I get it. Again, this was a ramble. Thanks.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah.
Thanks
I
for
just,
coming
I
in.
think philosophically everyone's
Why
in
did
the
you
same
get turned
spot.
down for?
I didn't fill out the form right.
Oh.
Well, there was 47 other people in Fairfield County that did something. I believe, and I'll go on record saying I believe there's something wrong with that whole process too.
She showed me what I did wrong, and
Right.
But when they're explaining to us right in the beginning, and you've never done it before, and they're throwing all this stuff at you.
They should give you a bullet point highlights of what is
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you go to turn it in, you cannot ask any questions.
Once
No.
there's a
Right.
signature, that's it.
Yeah.
No.
If they could do a one-page bullet point of what
Yep.
is required, I think
Well,
better than that quick
I think they
explanation.
did, and I think maybe I read that after the fact, but not before. I failed the test.
Yes.
Hey, you knew.
All right.
Thanks all.
Yeah.
I
Thank
think
you.
we're glad that you come to the meeting.
Yes,
to hear
absolutely.
What's happening. It clarifies a lot.
Well,
Mr.
in-
Bibler, please.
Mr.
again, I
Bibler's
just
a
wanna
regular,
clarify
yes.
that I'm not here because I've got beef or malice or.
No, 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 no. We welcome. If that was
we'd
filled
rather
every
not.
time, we'd be happy.
Welcome you.
I'm just
Yeah.
here to annoy Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, I want a copy of the agenda.
Are we ready for a motion?
Yeah. Can we have a motion to adjourn?
Foreman makes a motion to
We have
adjourn.
one more.
On a happy note, I wanna thank you, the village or whoever responsible for fixing that old firehouse over there in town. I guess they're gonna put a door on it.
It's a team effort.
It was a team
It was
effort,
definitely
and
a team
no, and we're not done. There's going to be some other subtle things.
I hope you're gonna put some kind of real nice sign up.
We
tell
are.
what it
The
is.
park
Had to
looks great.
Clean
Thanks,
the
Debbie.
overspray off the last,
And for the,
go around.
whoever to,
That took more
for
work than
painting.
anything.
All the overspray from the years past got all cleaned off.
That was a job.
He worked his tail. Did we
Have a sign on it that said
adjourn?
We do.
I did.
Who
I'll
adjourned?
show you
Had a
the sign
first and
that we're
second,
getting.
or-
Jim,
I
Jimmy
made a motion
Barber's
and Gar seconded it.
making
And then
one.
everybody else,
went yes.
aye.
Yes, bye.
Unanimous after that.
I'm not. I know. I got
Okay.
stuff to sign.
I just hope